Tony Collins. And, you know, Tony Collins is a person who has a backstory. Tony Collins is a student who is here for social justice and likes to support people in various different struggles of all sorts. And so I'm assuming that's what I'm going to be doing tonight.
Yes. And Tony is also the goddess of beauty.
I'm the goddess of beauty.
Yes, which is one of the cool things about her. She is beautiful both inside and out. She is the true hero kind of character. BT, who are you playing?
I am playing Marlon Cole, a god of death, a fighter by trade. It's a boxer and owning a boxing gym, looks like. From a poor neighborhood, didn't want to be a god. And yeah, that's all I know so far.
Nope, there you go. Hey, no. Well, and the thing about it is sometimes you want to be a god and it's like an awesome experience, and other times you become a god because of circumstances in your life. And one of the big things with Marlon is that his father recently passed away and he inherited the boxing gym from his father. So he's dealing with a lot of stuff right now. So, but Stephanie, who are you playing?
I am playing Mina Wu, who, like me, is always happy, and people think that she's disingenuous, but that's just who she is. She is super into tech, even though during the day she's temping as a chip collector at the Citadel Casino. And a year ago, some random dude named Adam gave her a shining sword and made her the goddess of light. She was like, yeah, cool, I'm into this, give it to me, and joined the Phoenix Society.
Thanks, Adam.
Yeah, some bro named Adam was like, hey, you want this? And I'm like, yeah, I'll take it. She also has a twin sister. So not far off from my own life, really. But she has a twin sister named Julie, and she's currently crashing on her couch.
Yes. And she is the goddess of light.
She is the goddess of light.
Yes. And Steve, who are you playing?
I am playing Wade Elsin, the god of cold, whose mother primed him from childhood for success. He's kind of a pampered kid, it looks like, and he inherited the spark of the Negafok, the north wind spirit of the Inuit, and became the god of cold.
Yes. Oh. And the fun thing about Wade is he is a member of what is called the Order of Mescanet. And they are essentially like, they're the ones who keep track of all of the god sparks, and they'll be like, cool, that no one's using that spark. You're gonna serve us well? Yes, okay, cool, you get this spark. And of course Wade hates that. He's just like, oh, just another person trying to control me.
Right. And he's a techie.
And he's a techie. He made most of his money. He created an app called the Cold Shoulder, which allows you to block people. You only have to block them once, and then it blocks that person across all of your different apps. So he invented that. It's not actually a thing that actually exists. So feel free to steal the idea, anybody. So looking at your character sheet, everybody has a character sheet. That's our pantheon. Pantheon in this game is essentially any gods who live near each other, who want to join forces to kind of defend each other, so that you don't get picked off one by other more powerful pantheons. So that's the fun part about the game, is you can have wildly different personalities, and you can already see that we do in this group. And yet, you know, these are the people that you have to kind of count on, even if you don't really like them. But looking at the character sheet, let's go over that. This game uses D10 pools, and your general rolls will just be 2 skills. You'll pick 2 skills, and you'll roll that many dice. So I have Wade's character up here. So if I was to say, let's sneak around in the forest, that would be stealth and survival. So looking at Wade's character sheet, he has 0 stealth and 0 survival. So he would roll no dice. Let me go to a different character who might have some dice. So Tony has 2 stealth and 1 survival. So you would roll 3 dice. Successes are 7s through 9s, 10s count as 2. And then I will usually say, oh, you need 2 successes to do this thing. And then you'll just roll the dice, and then you'll just tell me how many successes you have. And yeah, that's how the basic mechanic of the game works right there. So there are no attributes or anything. It's all pick 2 skills. When you want to use your divine powers, you will pick a skill and then also a manifestation. Manifestations are how you present your divine power. And you'll notice that you'll have some that have some levels and others that don't. You can't use the ones that don't have levels for that, but for skills you can. So to just describe the manifestations, Aegis is for if you're going to use it for any kind of protection. Beckon is if you're going to summon or banish things. Journey is if you're using it for travel, whether it's to move quickly, to teleport, things like that. Minion is if you are trying to affect, other living beings, essentially. Puppetry is if you are, it's like fine manipulation. Usually if you have a tangible dominion, then it's like telekinesis, but if it's an emotional one, then you can kind of tweak their emotions, things like that. Oracle is sensory. Ruin is anytime you are doing like direct damage. So like a fireball down the street, that's ruin. That doesn't mean that other things won't also cause damage, but if the goal is to damage, then it's ruin. Shaping is shaping either yourself or something else. And then soul is kind of affecting the incorporeal aspects of whatever you're the god of, such as redefining ideas or summoning spirits, things like that. And a lot of the time what I'm going to do is you're just going to say, I want to do something like this. And I'll say, do you have this manifestation? And then you'll say, yes, I do. And then I'll say, roll that then. And it's awesome. It works out really nicely. So if you want to use a manifestation, it would be a manifestation, and then we would pick a skill that would go with that. And then you would still roll, 2 things together, and you roll that many dice. 7s through 9s is 1 success, 10s count as 2. On your sheet, what you'll see also are a list of blessings. Blessings will either give you a little edge in the game, like a special ability, or they'll just give you bonus dice. So if you see, if it says +1 influence or +1 survival, that's an extra die. So anytime you would use it for that, you would get an extra die. You might have also some characters that have, like, again, like extra little bonus things that they can do. Like, let's see. So like Marlin has Siphon, which is Siphon's a fun one. Siphon is anytime somebody dies around him, your group just becomes a little bit more powerful. So it's wonderful. Because he's just connected to death that way. And what that does, and what it actually says is you will, if somebody dies around you, then you get a Pantheon die. And your Pantheon dice are at 6 right now because you have 6 players. And your Pantheon dice is basically a pool of dice that if we were at the table would just be in the center of the table. And anybody can pull from that dice for their rolls as long as everybody else at the table is okay with it. So it's just bonus dice that you can just, hey, can I use these dice? Because I really don't want to fail this roll, that sort of thing. And you'll see that if somebody dies, you just get an extra one of that because Marlin's around. As far as curses, now curses are a thing that I can activate or y'all can activate yourselves. These are essentially inviting bad things into a scene. To get Pantheon dice is, what you get out of it. But essentially it's for us to voluntarily add complications, or involuntarily, I guess, if I do it. But you can add in some complication into a scene. So for instance, if who has the loner? I think Wade has loner. So if, for instance, if you guys are all just sitting around like,
Yeah,
oh, well, I
Wade.
don't know what we should do. What should we do? I don't know. Steve might just be like, I'm going to activate loner. Everybody, and your team would get a Pantheon die, but it says here that he decides he's just going to go off on his own and walk into trouble, and he's just going to leave you guys behind. And actually, he doesn't have loner. That's a typo. Haley has loner.
Yeah.
Haley has
Oh,
loner.
really? Okay.
Yeah, that's a typo. You have a different thing. I think it's called loss of control is what it's actually called.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna have to fix that.
But okay.
Yeah, but Haley has loner because she has a low tolerance for
I have no
anything.
one to lead.
Yes, you're the one that's just like so there's that. So okay, so that's the other thing. So everybody's going to have what's called free time and wealth. These are, ideas that come to mind when you think of playing in a modern setting, but they are you're kind of what's the word, it's not like you have, if your free time is 2, then it's 2 hours, and if your wealth is 8, you have $8. It's metaphorical. It's how many points you have for things, but you'll notice that 2 of you have lots of free time and almost no money. That would be Tony and Mina. 3 of you are kind of in the middle, just kind of, hovering around 4 or 5 for whatever. And then Wade has very little free time and tons of money, because that's how the game kind of ends up balancing out in the end. Free time can be spent to go into scenes. Free time can be spent for bonus dice, which is fun, basically representing you taking extra time to do things. Or you can spend there's stuff you can do with free time. Wealth, you usually spend it in order to buy things, procure things, if there's services and whatnot that you need. Also, when it comes to travel, you might have to spend free time and wealth in order to get from place to place, but it's fun. Everybody has 3 fragments. You can spend these fragments at any point, and they will give you either 3 successes on a regular roll, or 2 successes if you're using it for manifestation. Notice that means those are successes, not dice. So, basically, if you spend a fragment, it's a big deal. Some abilities will also say you have to spend a fragment for that. So just keep that in mind. Okay, and then the last little bits here, and then we'll jump in to see if you have any questions. Truths are things that are always true about your character. And it's just a fun thing about being a god. It's just, you just have truth things that, hey, the goddess of ravens, guess what she can do? She can turn into a raven. Yeah, guess what? Yeah, she just can. So it's just a thing. It's little extra abilities. We call them truths because they come with like a fun little, thing. I think my favorite is probably Tony's, because she has one that says her skin is always so perfect, and that makes her immune to bleeding, bruising, and scarring conditions in the game. It's a fun one. I do enjoy that one. Okay, so everybody has truths. Some of you will have relics. Those are magical artifacts. The rules for how to use them are on your sheet. Some of you will have worshipers. Not everybody will have worshipers, I don't think. The rules are there, but basically worshipers you can send out to do things. A lot of this game is about kind of time management sometimes. So sometimes you're like, I gotta go do this other thing. Let me ask this person or that person to go do this other thing for me instead. That's also where your bonds come in. Your bonds are the things that keep you kind of human. They're the things that you value in your life. So for some of you, it's like Mina's sister, Julie. One of her bonds has to be, whereas Wade has his server farm, or his office. Haley has Brody, which is her roommate. Stuff like that. Obviously Marlon has Cole's gem. But let me see. Vassals are basically mythological creatures that magical creatures that you have. I think only Haley and Cole have vassals. Haley has a vassal, Angel, and it's her pet raven. And then Wade has Calic. It's a dire wolf. Yeah. So because it comes with the spirit of the North Wind. It's actually, Wade was a fun one to make, because I looked up the spirit of the North Wind in Inuit mythology.
Oh, wow.
And it's associated with dire wolves, and I was like, well, I guess you're gonna have to have a dire wolf then. So one thing that you can do with these sorts of games is, if you do real world research, it's like awesome. So there's health and psyche, mental and physical damage. And in your initiative, strength, and movement at the bottom, that is everything that I have to explain. Unless you have any questions, we can jump right into it. Let's say 3 minutes for questions, and then we'll jump into it at 9:20. So throw anything that you have out at me.
I have a quick question.
Sure.
So what is the link between my free time, which is 6, and the perfectionist?
So let me see here. You are. Wait, who are you playing? Who are you playing again?
Mina.
So it's funny because I wrote Stephanie is playing Stephanie is what I wrote on my notes, and that was bad of me. That was bad of me. I should have just looked at the screen because that's what you put.
No,
You put Mina there.
It's very meta. It's very meta. I do play me every day.
So the Perfectionist Curse, what that means is that essentially if you were to say, all right, she's gonna get it essentially means you're gonna keep trying to do the same thing until it's perfect, essentially until you get a boost. A boost is whenever you roll 3 over what the challenge was. So if I was like, it's difficulty 1 and you roll 2, and it's like, technically you did it, but you need to keep trying to make it. You need to, and it's essentially, you know, she gets obsessed with doing it, which is so weird because that's like the opposite of Mina is an onion. So she has many layers.
She seems like it, and so that will, so that does not eat into my 6 points of free time.
It does not. It does
Okay.
not, unless you spend the free time for additional dice to try and overcome it.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Anything
I thought
else?
that Mina had ADHD and so she's always trying, like she gets hyper focused on things.
I
but
didn't
sometimes
even
doesn't.
I didn't even connect that, but you're right actually.
It's
Because she has both the perfectionist and also the I don't care about this thing and I'm just gonna walk away from it.
Yeah,
That is so true.
it's a very familiar combo.
Yeah, there's a reason why when I reread it, I was like, oh no, I had to be Mina. So I'm playing Mina.
So the last page on the PDF that I sent to you guys is basically, that's the territory map. And I forgot to mention this is the last thing. So the territory map is essentially where the places of power that you have for your pantheon. And if you're near one of your places of power, then you get bonuses whenever you're using divine magic. This is all relative. It's not like 1 square is 1 mile or anything. It's just kind of giving us an idea as to how close things are to each other relatively. But this does have a lot to do with when you have to go places. So if, for instance, if we're down here, what is that, 0.910? If we're at Samantha's house, for instance, and then something's happening at the graveyard, which is on the opposite side of the map, it requires either more wealth or more free time. You're gonna have to spend a bunch to get there, or bad stuff happens because you're not there. But this is actually a fun thing about the game. Again, it has some time management stuff in there and some delegation of responsibility. You know, so you could be like, I can't make it, but Gabriel's nearby. Go. You know, you can do that sort of thing, and it's a lot of fun. Okay, I'm sorry. Any other questions? I see no inquisitive faces. So I think that means we can actually just go ahead and start this. I'm going to bring up the adventure here. The adventure we're going to play tonight is going to be called Fear Itself. I don't know if we're going to actually finish it, but it is a fun one, and hopefully it'll, you know, if we get a good ways through, then you'll go at least check out the adventure. You can find it online, and then you can read the rest of it, or I can give it a summation near the end. Okay, so let's see. So just to kind of give a recap, this adventure is going to start at 1:30 a.m. on a Saturday. So describe to me what your character might be doing at 1:30 a.m. on a Saturday. Sleeping is an okay answer, by the way. Steve, I'm going to go backwards. Steve, what do you think Wade's doing at 1:30 on a Saturday?
He'd probably be just beginning to bed, I would guess.
Okay, so he's actually turning in for the evening.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Where let's say he's sleeping in his office because he stayed up late working.
Okay.
I like that. Okay. All right. Stephanie, where do you think Mina is?
Oh, Mina's 100% in her computer, and she has The Matrix, despite its problematic storyline, it's definitely playing on a loop in the background. She's probably even like slightly cosplaying as Trinity just because she wants to feel a little alive.
Okay. Hey, that sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Nine, 5. BT, where do you think Marlon's at?
Marlon, though he's not generally into substances, I think this is his Saturday night treat time. So he's got maybe like a blunt and a 40, and he's watching some fights.
So is he hosting it at his gym, or is he out at a different fight?
He's out at a different fight.
Okay. So I'm right now what I'm doing is I'm trying to figure out where everybody is on the map. So I'm going to say that you're actually at 1-9, which I usually go horizontal then vertical. So you're at 1-9. That's the fight gym that you're at. So down in the lower left-hand corner. Sam, where's Tony?
Tony probably went to bed like kind of early. She loves to get her beauty rest, you know. And so
I love it.
She likes to go to bed early, but she like has plans in the morning to go meet up with some friends at like this like poetry coffee place. It's pretty cool. You know, she's a freshman in college, really trying to hang out with folks a lot.
I dig that. What's Haley doing, Rebecca?
She is at home in front of her computer going over her very detailed evening skin regimen for her followers.
All right. And Gabriel?
Gabriel at this point has gotten a request from a potential customer for a shop. He's got sort of like a large projector pulled up at the moment with just sort of like a portrait of this person's like family member on it. And so he's looking at this and he's like re-sketching over and over again, knowing that he's going to have to make a tattoo in the likeness of a real person. And so there's like multiple coffee cups like all set aside. And his wife is beckoning him to give up because like he has to do this in a week. The time constraint is not that extreme.
I love it. I love it. So are you at your place, which is at the Lizard Ink Tattoo? You live like in the back, or are you at Samantha's place?
Samantha's place.
You're at Samantha's place. All right. So she's at 9-10. I like that though. All right, cool. All right. So now I'm going to roll randomly for where stuff is going to happen. That's fun. 4, 5. And now normally I might have actually like pre-planned the stuff, but I'm throwing it out here. All right. So at around the location on the map, that is 4, 5. So let's see where that is. 4, 5. Oh, actually nothing's there, but it is nearby. Was it Cole's Gym? It's nearby Cole's Gym, but it's not one of your guys' territories, which is good. But essentially there is you sense, all of you as gods and as owners of this city and this territory, you feel the presence of 2 unfamiliar low-powered spark signatures trespassing around that area of town, basically near Cole's Gym. This is a thing. When you are a god, you can actually sense when other beings start coming into the places that you call yours. And this is part of the fun of being a pantheon, is that when you join together as a pantheon, you can sense each other's stuff. So it's not like you're just sensing just your own stuff, because it's all your territory. Yeah.
Is this feeling like, would we know the difference if this were some other competing gods that are trespassing here, or is this some sort of like anomalous danger?
That is a very good question. You wouldn't know until you were face to face. If 2 gods like look at each other, they know that they are gods. Like you're like, bam, oh, you're another god, cool. From that distance, you're just sensing that something is there, something divine. could be another god, could be a satyr, could be, could be anything. It could be anybody with a spark, which is, what the divine spark that you need. Then right after you sense that, you hear a very loud boom coming from that general direction. Again, absolutely none of you are actually near that thing. So like you were all like, nope, we're all way far away from where the stuff is actually happening. But everybody hears it because, it's a really, really very large explosion. If you actually go outside, I don't even know. We'll have to see. I'm not even gonna make you roll. I'm gonna say that it was loud enough that even if you were sleeping, it woke you up because you were just falling asleep. But if you look outside your window, you can see black smoke. You can see red flickering lights coming from that direction. That sort of thing. Go ahead. Who was gonna say something?
Marlon was going to say something.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, oh shit.
So
I thought I was gonna have a night off, and apparently not.
We have each other's phone numbers, right?
Oh, of course.
Okay.
If like a group text going or whatever.
Yeah, if that's the case, then I'll sort of awkwardly look around, ask the coffee cup for advice, and then take phone out of my pocket, text like, "You guys hear that?" Except it's spelled in like the text way of like DID, like the letter U, and then hear that.
Picture of
Bobby,
an
you
ear
just spelled
emoji.
did normally.
I was gonna say it's spelled really funky, like DID.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm also checking the group chat to see if, like, whoever was closest to whatever just exploded.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna look out the window of the office building that I'm in to see if I can see the direction of where everything's coming from.
Oh yeah, and it's actually the explosion happened in the direction where you felt the draw of that being. So there's something happening over there that is not just a regular explosion. It's definitely divine in its origin.
Is Mina able to hack into the infrastructure system and task the traffic cams to see what's going on over there?
You can. That'll be a pretty difficult role, but you can. Yeah. I mean, hey, I am definitely not one to say you just can't do it, but you're gonna have a lot of successes to do it. Let me see how many. The difficulty goes up to 5. You are playing Mina, so let's say 4. It's a 4 for you. It would probably be a 4 if Wade wanted to do it too, and anybody else would be a 5. So in order to do this, hacking is stealth usually and tech.
Okay, so I have 3 each of those.
So you would roll 6 dice.
So 6 of the 10-sided.
6 10-sided dice, correct.
Are you?
Oh, who's rolling? Is somebody rolling for you?
I've got it here in front of me. Okay, you rolled a total 29.
Okay, so what I need to know is 7s through 9s is 1 success. 10 counts as 2. So how many successes?
2 successes.
2 successes. So then you need 2 more. You need 2 more successes, Mina. So there's 3 ways that you can get successes, or you can get more dice or whatever. Well, a fragment. If you spend a fragment, it gets you 3 successes. That would get you up to 5. Bam. Or you can spend free time, again representing you spending like extra time doing it. Each free time you spend will get you 2 extra dice. Or you can ask the rest of the group to pull from the Pantheon dice.
Are y'all comfortable with me pulling from the Pantheon dice so we can get eyes on the ground, or would you rather we wait?
I feel like we have a natural sense on where we need to be going. We can all meet up at the general area, I feel like.
Can I send can I send Angel to go fly over and take a look?
Yeah, you can send Angel. Again, none of you are.
I have her right here, so we're ready.
So nice.
Ready. Did you want to enhance your role real quick before we move on to the other stuff? Stephanie, did you want to change that role, or did you just want to say, oh man, I couldn't get into the cameras?
I think I want to enhance it just so I can see what I'm going to be walking into.
Okay.
Okay, so how many do I need to roll for you now?
So are you going to spend a free time or fragments?
I'm going to spend a fragment.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. So you
Then
spent a
you get
fragment.
perfect, right?
Yeah, you got 5 successes, then you don't have to actually do anything else. Okay, cool. So you hack into the cameras, and what you see there, where did it go? Oh yeah, different window. So there's tons of fire there, raging in the area, obviously endangering anybody there. There's like people trapped under cars and all kinds of stuff. Like there's people injured. So the explosion was really bad. It wasn't in like a heavily populated area, especially since it's 1:30 in the morning, so there wasn't a ton of people out, but there were enough people that there's some people who look like they are unconscious. You don't know if they're breathing, like who knows what's happening, but that's what you're getting from the cameras.
So no shadowy figures or anything like that?
Not that you can see through cameras, no. Good question, though.
Okay,
So-
well,
Go ahead.
I'm probably just running.
Yeah,
Like-
Yeah, like
that sounds like Tony.
Yeah, I'm like on my way, my dudes.
He's like, wow.
Yeah. I'm very much on my way as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
I go in
Marlon's
my
kinda-
car.
Marlon's
So-
sneaking out the back of
So-
the fight club. And,
Okay. So Tony, Marlon, who else said they were going immediately?
Can
Gabriel.
I have?
Wade is? Okay.
it's in my neighborhood, so I'm worried.
Oh, true.
I'm having
True.
my chauffeur take me there pronto.
Hey, is Haley just going straight there, or?
Haley's gonna finish up her video and then
Oh, that's
she's
right, because you sent Angel kind of go, Angel can assist. It's fine.
yeah.
And then Gabriel, you were going as well? Robbie?
Yeah. I give
Okay.
a really, really clumsy lie to Samantha on where I'm going.
Okay.
And I'm just like out the door. I didn't put any of my stuff up.
All right, awesome. All right, so real quick. Sorry, I forgot to write down your guys' free time and wealth. So give me a sec here. So 6-2 for Mina. 4-5 for Marlon. So the fun thing about free time is, again, as I said before, free time, you actually have to spend free time to get into a scene. So this scene that we're in, everybody is down 1 free time. And then when we go into the next scene, everybody will be down another free time until you have 0 free time. So
God.
yes, that's how
I don't have much of it.
No, you definitely don't. You 100% don't. Okay, so the way that movement works on the map, and we're going to count this as the same scene, but basically the way movement works on the map is you can move 4 squares for free, and then you can spend a free time for 4 more squares, or you can spend a wealth for 3 more squares to get you to where you need to go. So let's just go down the line. So Gabriel, you were at Sam's house. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you would either need to spend 1 free time or you need to spend 2 wealth in order to get there. Which one are you doing?
Can I do God stuff?
You can. What do you want to do?
I'm hoping to get some sort of travel jump through my journey abilities.
Let's do that.
Okay.
Let's do survival, and let's do journey with either survival or intuition, whichever one's higher.
Okay. Journey with survival or intuition. Gotta pull that up.
I didn't have the sheet up, so I don't know which one's higher.
Yeah. Okay. So
Right.
journey is 2 dice, and then survival is a 0. Intuition is a 2.
Oh,
So
well,
that's
I would go with that one then.
yeah. Okay. Okay. So how many dice do I roll then?
Roll 4 dice, 2 and 2.
All right.
And hold on, you're at Samantha's house, so you're gonna roll an additional die.
Okay. So far, 1 success,
Okay.
2 successes.
Okay. So what I'll say is for each success, I'll knock off a square. So you either need to spend 1 wealth or 1 free time then.
I will spend 1 wealth.
Okay. Bam. All right. So let's see. Haley was at 4-9, and you need to get to 4-5. Okay. So Haley doesn't need to spend anything else to get there. Oh, but you weren't going anyway, so never mind.
Oh, well, I texted Tony and she said she was going, so I'm gonna go too.
I'm like sprint. I didn't even stop running.
Yes.
Text. Like I am responding. I'm an avid responder.
Yes.
Going.
Tony is actually close enough. She doesn't have to spend anything. Marlon was at 1-9. So let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so you'd have to spend either 1 additional free time or 1 additional wealth. You're kind of average in both. So which one of those do you want to spend?
Okay. What I have one more. I have one more of wealth, I think. Is that right?
You do.
So I might as well spend that.
Okay.
I guess I'm
And
taking a taxi or something.
exactly. Well, yeah, that's the justification for spending wealth. It's like, oh, I paid to get there faster. All right, cool. And then basically I'm gonna treat it as Mina and Haley kind of hanging back because Mina was doing like traffic cam hacking and stuff. I'm assuming that takes time to do. And Haley is still working on her video. But the interesting thing is because Haley sent you sent your vassal that you can see through your phone through her eyes, and Mina is looking through cameras. Both of you can still see everything that's about to happen. So even if you're not there to interact with it, you can still know everything. So good on y'all. All right. So again, when the rest, go ahead, Stephanie.
Sorry, quick question. Where
Yeah.
is Mina's location? I don't know that I got that.
The location?
Like, where is she right now
Um,
on the map?
oh, at 4-5. 4-5 is where, yeah, that's where everybody is on the map right now.
Okay.
Okay. So when you guys get there, the 4 of you who are there, the other 2 can see it, even if you're not there. There are raging fires in the area, could endanger people. There's no fire engine there yet, but there's, you can hear stuff in the distance. So there's that. There's a man trapped with a sideways car on his legs. So there's that. There's also various injured people who require medical attention. So y'all can deal with these people, or you can investigate the area.
So can I try to use some kind of a cold thing to stop the fire?
Of course you can. Oh yeah.
Yeah. What would
Oh,
I
yeah.
do for that?
Let me look at your character here. So what do you want to do? Do you just want to create do you want to bring in a cold mist? Do you want to freeze the area, like create like a layer of frost over everything? Like it depends on how you want to describe it,
Yeah, I just basically want to like do like a ray of frost blast fire extinguisher type thing on the base of the fire wherever it is.
Oh, okay. Let's do that then. I like that. Well, that's gonna be, all right. Yeah, let's do Beckon for that.
Okay.
Let's do Beckon and discipline.
Okay, so I have 2 beckon and 3 discipline.
So roll 5 dice. Let me see. It's so funny. You get bonuses if you're in your territory, but I just so happen to roll like one of the areas on the map that you guys have no control here. So no additional dice here. But
Okay,
that's how it works sometimes.
So I'm rolling 10-sided dice, right?
10-sided dice.
All right, a 4.
7s, 8s, and 9s. 7, 8s, and 9s are 1 success. 10s count as 2.
Okay. So there's a 7 and a 10.
So that's 3.
Okay. And then I have a 9. And
So
the rest
4.
didn't.
I'm going to say that's more than enough
Okay.
to extinguish the fire, all the fire in the area. Most definitely.
Okay.
All right.
Um,
So that's what you're doing. You're working on that. Sam, what's Tony doing?
so Tony, straight for the guy in the car. Absolutely. I'm just gonna go like push that car right on off of that dude.
Let's do it.
And so I'm your opponent now. So when I'm fighting while protecting someone else, I get a
Okay.
+1. And I'm fighting this car, right?
Let's do it. I know. I like it. I like it.
So I go straight for the guy in the car, and DM's choice. I also have a curse called Brave or Stupid, where we will gain 1 Pantheon die if I go into overwhelming danger without thinking.
Okay.
Depends on what you know about the situation, if that was stupid of me or not.
Yes.
So I'm going for the car.
Yeah, I would say I probably wouldn't activate
Okay.
that right now in this very moment.
Cool.
Though Tony is an interesting character because she is a hero who always wants to get there and always wants to save people. But she's not like very strong or anything like that.
Yeah, I'm
So
gonna fight this car.
hey, let's do it. So what I would say normally is I would say roll fighting and might for that. With your extra die, that would give you 4 dice. So I would say you could do that if you wanted to. Do you have anything that you might be able to use to assist with that roll? I mean, you have fragments, obviously. So
let's see.
so you have the I'm your opponent now. I like that. Oh, Tony has instant domain. Remember I said that thing that, hey, it's so funny that we rolled here that this is nobody's domain, but yeah, you could just be like, bam, it's our domain.
Oh, yeah.
So
Okay, so dibs.
all right, so yeah, you spend that. It costs you a fragment, so you spend a fragment, and in bam, everybody, you treat it like you guys own this place now. So everybody would get an additional die for any manifestations.
Sweet.
So
I roll 5 dice then.
So you would roll. Well, let's say yes. Let's roll 5.
Okay. So. Ooh. Oh, bad job. Okay, I got 1 success. I did not lift this car off of this.
I would say that you did not, unless you wanted to spend any. Well, you just spend a fragment to make it your territory. Do you want to spend another one to save the dude, or?
I'm gonna.
Can I find out if he's gonna die soon?
I would say
with the decision.
I guess that's a good question. I'm not actually a doctor, so I don't know. I don't know if you can die from having your legs crushed. I assume not, because there's a lot of people who are amputees.
But if you lift the car, he might bleed out.
Yeah.
Oh, true. So make an intuition and medicine roll, and we'll see what you think.
Let's see, intuition. Intuition is 1, medicine is 0, but I get an extra because we're in our domain now.
You do get an extra 1 because you're in your domain. Yeah. Okay, I'd also give you an additional die for sizing them up as well.
Okay. Okay, I got 5, 6, and a 10, so that's 2 successes.
5, 6, 10. No, that's so 2 for the 10. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll say that he's not gonna. He will die if he doesn't get to the hospital soon. But again, you can hear ambulances and stuff on their way. They're just not there yet. That's hard to say. I would say that if you can help the dude, it's really, really good. It will up his chances, I will say.
Can Gabriel, there's like people running away at this point, right?
There are, well, it wasn't super, anybody who had run away is probably gone already.
Yeah.
Really right now, you're just dealing with the people who got hurt in the explosion.
Okay. What would be the nearest one to me other than the guy who's under the car?
There's a few people who look like they have broken bones, maybe some lacerations and burns. There's like maybe 2 or 3 people looking like that.
I run up to the one with some burns on them, sort of like kneel down next to him and say, hey, look, it's like really important that like we know like what happened here, right? Can you like explain a little bit of it? Like what happened here, dude?
All right. Go ahead and make a let's see, influence and empathy.
So,
That's 4 dice.
I was gonna say,
Let's see.
No successes.
Awesome. That actually is about what I would have thought. All right. They go in pain from the broken bones.
okay.
All right. So wait, there's the Tony, Marlon, Wade, Gabriel. Okay, cool. So all of you did something. And the police and everything, actually, the police and the ambulances and stuff, they turn around the corner. So they're actually coming, they're showing up now, and they're some more like people, like bystanders and whatnot, have started to kind of come out like, oh, what's going on? So the police officers and stuff, like they come and they're like, all right, everybody clear the area, everybody get, all that stuff. So they start kind of clearing you guys out, like, yes, it looks like you guys are trying to help, but look, we need to investigate here. We need to get these people to the hospital. So they start kind of doing some stuff, pushing you guys away, unless you guys make up a reason why you don't leave the area.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna make it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I look at them and I'm like, no, you need to help them over there. We've got this here. And I'm gonna like kind of get our crowd like over in like a direction that I don't want them to like pay attention to, using like beauty is beyond compare, because people who look at me automatically receive convinced one, where they just believe things I say. So I'm like, we got it. And so I want them to help, like, people who need help, obviously, but like I don't want them to tell us to leave.
I like it. Spin that fragment. And yeah, 100%. And the funny thing about it is that mortals, this is the fun thing about your divine powers, mortals have no resistance to it at all. Only other beings with a spark have a chance to resist. If you use stuff on a mortal, I mean, you're gods, so it works. So, you become so stunningly beautiful that you're like, it's okay. We're here to help. You can go on to the next person. They're like, okay. they just move on. They're like, she looks like she belongs here and she's doing a good job. All right. Well, I like that. That's awesome. So, and that's going to count for everybody because she spent a fragment on it. So that's just going to count for all of you. You guys can all stay. So let's see here. We are going to move into, we're going to count this now as a new scene. Now that we're kind of moving, some time has passed. You've helped like the initial, people who were hurt. Now it's like, okay, so you can take a breather now because help is there. We're kind of out of, the craziness. And so now everybody's lost another free time. I noted it on my end, by the way. So the question here is, Haley and Mina, are you going to meet up with them at the location now, or are you guys going to go do something else?
I think Haley's in.
I'm debating because I'm scared of the dark, even though I can see in the dark. And going outside in the dark always makes me, even though I'm not afraid of anything, that's the one I'm afraid of.
It's the one thing you're afraid of is utter darkness. Yes. So like, not like nighttime, because like the moon's out, yeah, like you're scared of like dark.
Okay, I'm glad we cleared that up.
Yes.
Then I'm gonna meet up with
Okay, so you guys go, and I'm pretty sure you guys were both within the area anyway. So yeah. And yeah, okay, yeah. So you guys are good. You don't have to spend any additional free time to get there. Okay, so you have a chance now to investigate the area. Again, otherwise we were going to push you back and whatnot, but since you're there, you can actually investigate the area now. So let's see here.
Do you have any worshipers in the area?
No, like almost all your guys' worshipers are all along the edges of the territory, which was just. And again, when you're making your characters, you roll randomly for locations of everything. So
that's just the way it worked
I
out.
didn't put them there. Yeah, that's just where they ended up. Okay, so let's see. So if you want to, do you want to look around the area, kind of see what's going on, and all of you can make a roll, and then based on how many successes you get, I will tell you what amount of information you've received. It'll be a perception and intuition roll.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to see can I use my influence to try and glean some information from the police investigators themselves?
I'm going to say at the moment, even if you wanted to, they don't know anything yet because they're looking at it right now at the same time as you are.
Okay.
I did not get any successes.
So I have to do something.
If you got no successes, it's okay. It just means that you're going to be like, oh, it's too chaotic around here. I don't, what, huh?
What was it again? A perception and a what?
Intuition.
I got 1 success.
1 success. Okay. So we got
2 failures.
one with 1 with
Can I add an
none.
oracle to it?
No, this is just is just normal. This is just what you can glean.
Yeah, I have 1 success as well.
Yeah, I got 1 success.
1. We got 2 more people who didn't get theirs.
Yeah, so I need 6 dice rolled for me, please, because I have 4 intuition and 2 perception.
Wow.
Yeah, Mina's pretty perceptive and intuitive.
Oh, you got 3 successes.
3.
Okay.
Awesome. And then who am I missing? Somebody got none, 3 1s and a 3.
I also got none. If you're
You
missing
also
me.
got none. I didn't catch that 2 people got none.
Okay.
Okay. So for the people who got none, you're like, for the people who got 1, you notice that the explosion looks like it came from an exposed gas main line, apparently ripped up from the ground by some force which has been ruptured. But if you got 3 successes, let's see. Who got the 3 successes? That was Wade. Oh no, it was Mina. Of course, it was Mina. So you noticed that the vehicles were overturned in the area in all positions, and they look like they were there before the explosion. So there's a bunch of cars on the side and everything, but that was before the explosion because you can see blast marks on the bottom side of the cars. Let's see. You can also see that there are overturned vehicles outside the blast zone as well. And you notice that the building near the point of the explosion has an extremely large hole in it, as if something crashed into it, possibly thrown. The bricks of the building have no scorch marks on them, like something shielded them from the impact. But it would had to have been large enough to also create this giant hole in the wall. So, and when I say giant, it's like at least like a 20-foot hole in the side of this building.
Am I allowed to share that information with the rest of the team?
Oh yeah, they're just like, man, it looks like it came from the main line, from the gas line. You're like, no, guys, seriously, no, it's not that. And there was additional information if you rolled 4 successes, just so you know. So if anybody wanted to spend free time or whatever, like not anybody, Mina, I guess, if you really wanted to. So you would essentially need 1 more success if you wanted the additional information.
Is there a nearby tree?
I would say that there are a few trees. Yeah.
I'm going to walk up to it and I'm going to put my hand on it and whisper to it and say, kindred spirit, tell us what you saw.
Awesome.
And use my 8 million spirits ability.
Okay.
So I can communicate with spirits of any being, animal, or object. Do plants count for this?
They do. What I will say, however, just because this is something that comes up quite often. To ask something what it saw, it needs to have eyes.
No, that's a good
So if you ask a tree, it's going to say what it felt in the area.
Yeah.
It can't see anything.
They don't have vision.
Yes.
That would make sense. Before I do this, I
Yes,
realize
I'm
it's a
warning you
dumb
before.
idea.
I'm not going to make you spin the thing. Yes.
There might be a squirrel in the tree.
Yeah, fine. If you found a squirrel or whatever, you could be like, "What's up with this? What's going on, man?"
I take a cursory look around. Do I see like any wildlife just chilling near this explosion site?
Make a survival and perception check, and we'll
Okay.
see if you see any animals.
Survival 0, perception 1.
And you gotta die.
Oh
It's
wait,
something.
I also have a special die for domain, I think, from Tony?
Mira or
Mhm.
Tony. Yeah.
So technically, that's supposed to give you 1 extra die for your magical rolls, not for your mundane rolls. Yeah.
That's a 9.
Hey, that's 1. Let's go with squirrel. I like that suggestion. Yeah, there's a squirrel around there.
Man,
Do you want to spend it on the squirrel? They have very small brains.
I gotta try. I'm gonna talk to it, and I'll say, "Small spirit, do you know or did you see what happened here?"
It almost speaks too fast. Like it's almost difficult for you to understand what it's saying, because it's just like, oh yeah, oh my god, there was a thing over there, and boom, and you're making out like certain like words here and there, but it's talking like a mile a minute. It's kind of not fun to even listen to it because it's really high pitched as well.
Yeah.
Essentially, what you get from it is that there were 2 people who were flailing around like crazy people, and one of them blew up.
So, 2 dudes, one of them spontaneously exploded, right?
Yes.
Squirrel told me.
Yes. Well, and actually, that brings us to the next thing. So near where the explosion had happened, there are 2 individuals, a man and a woman there. They're lying unconscious on the ground. So you just see them now after the squirrel points them out. They're actually bringing the EMTs and stuff are kind of all around them at the moment. But you do notice so they're being loaded up into ambulances. So those are the 2 people that the squirrel's like, yeah, that was them.
Someone's got to stop the paramedics, dude.
Okay. I go to the people I just talked to, and I was like, oh, hey, let me in here really quick, and I just go like I know what I'm doing.
Okay.
And
which you're going to one of the ambulances? Which
Yeah,
one? The one with the man or the one with the woman? They're being loaded into 2 different ones.
I'll go to the one with the woman.
Okay.
I'll go to the one with the man then.
And so I will. Is she conscious?
No, they're both unconscious.
What if I don't know if I can do anything about that. I don't think I can stop that from happening.
So Tony has her aura of influence. That's getting her into the ambulance. What is Wade using to get into the ambulance?
Deception. I'm going to tell them I'm a family member.
All right. That would be influence and deception.
Okay.
Which I think is pretty good for Wade, if I recall.
Yeah, 3, and where is influence? 3. So
yeah, 6 dice. That's a really good roll in this game to have 6 dice.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4. So 4, right? Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, that'll get you into the ambulance. So yeah,
Okay.
you're good to go.
Right.
And and there's only room for one of you guys to be in each of the ambulances. So now they have been called. So Tony and Wade, they go off in the ambulances. What were you about to say, Sam?
So I have the Aegis.
Mhm.
I can do magic that has to do with like healing and protection. So what if when I go like into the EM or into the ambulance, I'm going to do some sort of like vague lay on hands-esque like thing to try and human paddle, but like awaken this person.
Okay. So what I'll say, so the way that the manifestations work is it has to have something to do with what you're the god of, right? So
I'm assuming this person is badly burnt after this explosion, and I'm going to be like, that's probably the biggest source of your injury. So I'm going to heal the burn wounds and see if that wakes her up.
okay. All right. Well, yeah, I would say definitely. Yeah, she definitely looks like she's injured. She's got some burns, burn wounds and stuff like that. You could use Aegis to restore her beauty, to protect her beauty, that sort of thing. If you wanted to do that to heal her. When she is laying there, she's unconscious, and under her breath, she's like murmuring about spiders under her breath. And unbeknownst, you have no idea about the spiders, Wade, but the man is muttering under his breath about demons.
About demons, okay.
So they are not in restful unconscious states. They are in like demon spiders.
Okay, so I see that she's clearly distressed, and I try and chill her out and see if she can kind of come to a little. So that's an Aegis plus medicine check.
Let's see what would that be? Yeah, Aegis and medicine. That actually sounds pretty good. Yeah, let's use that.
Cool.
That's also the fun thing about the game is like, yeah, I can throw stuff at you, but you're like Aegis and medicine. Yeah, let's go. Let's do that thing. I mean, it takes the load off of me. I ain't got to come up with anything.
Okay, I got a 10 and I got a 7. That's 3 and 6. So I got 3 successes.
3
And,
successes.
oh, wait, do I get an extra die because I'm in my territory?
Yes, I'm going to say you did it before you left the area, so you would get the additional die.
Cool. That's a 9. 4 successes.
4 success. Wow, that's really good. So I'm going to say that you were definitely able to heal her. Some of her wounds and stuff are gone. It does not wake her though, and actually. I need you to make a roll because of course I do. You need to roll. Where's the roll? If you can make a medicine and no, that's not it. That's not the roll. What are you doing here? Can you make a discipline and empathy check for me, please?
Discipline and empathy. Okay,
Yes.
that's 4. 8. That's 1.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure that's like her best roll.
Yeah. 7 and 9. I got a 3 or 3 successes.
3 successes. Okay,
Wow.
then you're good. You're good. Well, when you try to heal her, you see the physical part of her like heals, but you get like zapped with like this weird surge of like fear, but you're able to shake it off. So you can tell that there's something mystical keeping her asleep right now. Cool. All right. So Tony and Wade drive off away. They're going to the hospital. What are the other 4 of you gonna do?
I don't know, but Mina is jonesing for some human interaction due to her intimacy addiction.
Yes. Well, the good thing is that there are people here, so you could chat up the police officer or whatever. We don't need to make that a part of the scene really, since there are people here, and you were healing people. You were messing around with people, so yeah, there's people there, so you're fine.
Okay,
that mostly comes into play if you guys are doing a dungeon crawl or if you get locked up or something, then it becomes really important. But like there's people around, you're good.
So bad that it's like, okay.
Exactly. Just so everybody knows, Mina has an addiction to humanity. So if there's a scene where she doesn't interact with a person, then she starts to, kind of lose it. She starts to get like jittery and stuff. So,
So
cool.
I think Haley, since the fire is out and this wouldn't put Angel in danger,
Yes.
I might ask her to go take a little look-see around the big hole in the building
Okay.
while I'm watching on my special phone to see what she sees.
I mean, you basically see it's the big hole in the building. There's no scorch marks on that part of the building. So like the explosion happened and the regular people there are like, oh, obviously that's what caused the explosion. The explosion caused the giant hole, but no, that's not the case. There was obviously something there that caused the explosion and caused the big hole. Except that the squirrel said that one of the two people that got taken away exploded, but then they're regular size, so they're not big enough to make the big hole.
Squirrels.
I mean, what do squirrels really know?
I
Anyway?
know, right?
Yeah.
Can't trust them.
Is
Can't trust
is
them.
there any light in the building? Like, is there anything that
It's like an office building, so I mean, there's like
Angel might go in
general.
that she could like swoop around and see if there's anything going on in there?
Yeah, I mean, you can. Just for time saving, I'll say you find nothing.
Okay.
There's nothing else important here. The GM is pointing you to the hospital.
Oh, let's go to the hospital.
Yeah.
The rest of the story takes place at the hospital. So the hospital is actually a little chaotic after an explosion. It turns out that even the people who weren't at the site of the explosion, there were more injuries kind of around everywhere. They're all kind of being blamed on the explosion. So when you get there, there's a bunch of people in the emergency room. So it's pretty bad for like very early Saturday morning. It's like very early Saturday morning. So with everybody going to the hospital, the only person that we first need to deal with is Wade. Because Wade
has no free time.
to get you to the hospital, you have no free time. So the way that this game works is you have a few different options. What's happening here is your dad calls you. And so you pick up and he says to you, we have investors. We have surprise investors that have shown up
On a Sunday.
It is 2:00 in the morning.
It's Saturday. It's Saturday.
Okay.
It's Saturday. No, and it's been hours now. It's
Okay.
like 4 or whatever. And Wade is pretty used to his dad calling him at whatever hours. So yeah, and your dad essentially says like, I need you to prepare these reports for the meeting that we're going to have at 7 when they arrive. So that's what he tells you. So this is your choice now. Do you say, I need to go to my office now? And you leave you like drive at the hospital and you just leave and you go back to your office. Or you can try to kind of do the next scene while also trying to maybe prepare the scene, prepare the reports on your phone. Or you can pay somebody to kind of take that off of your plate for a bit. Like you can pay your intern to kind of start on the reports, or you can say, screw you, Dad, I'm not going to do them. So
I'm going to go with option C. And pay somebody to do the reports. Yeah.
So that's going to cost you 2 wealth.
Okay.
So, and that's going to restore you back to 2 free time.
All right. Yes.
And then of course I'm going to take that 1 free time, one of them away for you to get into this scene.
Sure.
So it's awesome. And eventually he will run out of money. And he won't be able to pay off people to do his stuff for him. So yeah, there we go. All right, cool. So getting to the hospital, that's where we're at right now. So it depends on kind of what you guys want to do. This is an investigation kind of scene here before anything really bad happens. Tony, you're with the woman and you are able to, what story did you tell them of why you were there? Because you have the power to just say,
how old does the woman look?
What's that?
How old does the woman look?
Oh, she is mid-20s.
Okay, I'll say that she's my friend and we were out on a walk and she got hurt in the explosion.
Okay. Yeah, that works. Yeah, because she looks young. Yeah, I like
yeah.
that. Okay. Okay. So there's that. So that was kind of your story. So like the on the ride, unless you allowed them to ask you questions, they didn't ask you any questions. So because of course you had your aura of influence going on.
Yeah.
By the time you get to the hospital, that does fade because it lasts a scene. So it is gone now unless you wanted to reactivate it. So with this being kind of, again, an investigative kind of scene, I'll tell you some of the stuff that I have written in the adventure, but of course, if you want to do something else, you can. But you can talk to some of the nurses and whatnot, and kind of get an idea of what information they might have. You notice that cops have shown up, and Tony and Wade, because both of you kind of said you're a friend or family member, both of you are kind of I don't want to say detained, like you're not like under arrest or anything, but they're like, the police really, they're like, don't go anywhere because we really want to ask you, because, you know, but they have to secure the place. So there is there's a policeman outside of the woman's room, as well as outside the man's room. And, you know, there are cops kind of generally looking around for you two to ask you guys questions about the people. But you can eavesdrop on like police conversations. You can talk to the nurses. You can try and hack the system, or, you know, swipe a medical report. Or you can just be like, I'm going to try and sneak into the hospital room. Like, you can do a bunch of different stuff. Those are the options that I have stuff written for, but feel free to come up with something else as well.
Well,
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I have a feeling that Mina has told everyone that she's with the IT department and was called because someone's having trouble with their computer.
Okay.
So she's going to go to the nurses station and hack into their system to get all the patient records, as well as see if she can hack into the police station's server and see if anything has already been filed.
Okay. Well, just so that everybody kind of has a chance to do stuff, which one of those two did you want to do? Hack the police or hack the medical records?
How about I hack the police? Because I think that's going to be, maybe talking to the nurses and getting the medical reports will be easier since we're at the hospital.
Okay. All right. So you're going to go after the medical reports. Marlon, what do you want to do? I feel like you haven't done much.
I had a couple of ideas.
So let me see.
I don't think I really want to spend a fragment for this though. But I'm wondering if all planned out can be useful. Like if maybe somebody from one of the local gangs is hanging out in the waiting room or something and has some information or can get some for me.
I don't think that that's going to be what that's for. Is that you can send people to go do things for you. So if you were like, I need you to go get me information, then you could do that, and you do it better because you have that stronger connection to them. That's what the all planned out is. So I don't think it necessarily applies here.
Okay. Well, is there somewhere that I can sneak into and be forgotten?
You just kind of want to hide a bit, or
you know, maybe for eavesdropping.
Okay. Yeah. You can let's do, you can eavesdrop. Who do you want to eavesdrop on?
I feel like the police might not know very much since they showed up later.
Okay.
But so yeah, let's eavesdrop on some medical professionals talking about the people.
Love it. Okay. What about Gabriel?
Gabriel. Okay. I have a question that I'm wondering if you can answer very briefly, I guess. I don't feel like I fully understand Gabriel's theme or Gabriel's abilities, I suppose.
Sure.
So he has a lot of stuff about like different spirits that he's supposed to help guide and whatnot. I guess I just don't fully understand what that means, and I feel like I can make my decisions a
So
little bit
you
faster.
have a
if
bond on your sheet called the Spirit Community, I believe.
Yeah, a Spirits in Need.
Spirits in Need. And
Yeah.
so what ends up happening is when you run out of free time, your bonds come a knocking. That's what it is. So if you're in the middle of this and say you ran out of free time, you might have a random spirit show up and be like, I know you're investigating these people, but I need your help with this.
Yeah.
And it's going to try to interrupt you in what you need and what you're trying to do. It's not, because it's not a fun thing to be a spirit kind of gardener. Like it's your responsibility. It's not a fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
If that is the case, I think I'm just gonna like sit and talk with the like some of the people in the waiting room. I don't think I'm really actually shooting for much information, but just sort of being like
That's
a nice,
fine.
empathetic support person.
I like that. We need those people too. So Gabriel is going to kind of just hang out in the waiting room. Okay. And Haley is the other person who hasn't done a ton. I know Tony and Wade. I'll get to you guys in a second.
So I have two thoughts. So first, like, do we get the vibe that there's any kind of divine power in this area too?
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. The two people, the man and the woman, they're gods.
Okay, they are gods.
They are gods.
Okay, so I guess I don't need to see who they truly are to sense.
If you did otherworldly sight, you'd obviously have to be looking at them, but it would actually allow you to see like what they're the god of and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then maybe I could use my where is it? The show must go on to put on an amazing performance of sadness and grief over my I don't know, maybe he's my boyfriend who was hurt in the blast, and I just have to know what's going on. I need to see him now.
I love it. Okay, so you're gonna try and get into the man's room.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I trust Tony's ability to get everything that can get got from the lady, but apparently Haley thinks that Wade, I'm so sorry, Steven, she thinks Wade is a stuck-up prick. So
she's right.
If you read everybody's description, no one likes Wade except for Mina.
And Wade.
And it's mostly because Mina likes everybody. So
thing going.
Can I know I already said what I was doing. Can I add something onto it, I guess?
Sure.
Can I use my I just can't even ability and break down crying in the waiting room?
You certainly can.
Okay, perfect. We get one Pantheon die.
You do.
Good.
Yep.
So I
There you
get
go. Pantheon. You have 7 in your Pantheon pool now. So and just so you guys know, like in a normal game, your Pantheon pool refreshes it goes away and refreshes at the beginning of the next session. So it is something you're supposed to be using and then adding to and then using and adding to. So don't let it just sit there. Grab the dice. All right, cool. So you're at the woman's room and go ahead.
Oh, am I in the woman's room?
No. You're outside. There's a policeman there. And they called for the detective to come and ask you questions, but the detective hasn't shown up yet. So that's where you are right now.
Yeah, so I'm thinking I just saw Haley do Haley and get into the guy's room. So I'm gonna try and I'm like, hey, Wade, come here. I need you to distract this guard. I don't care what you do, but I just need to get in her room for a second.
Can I use the dire wolf?
There's a wolf in the hospital.
Marlon objects to that.
So here's the thing. So trying to get into either of the hospital rooms it's a little bit difficult. So even if you work at the hospital, it's hard for you to get in because there's officers who are under strict orders not to allow anybody in. Except for a Dr. Jones and the on-duty head nurse. Like you can let, obviously her. So it's yeah. So essentially, that's what we have. So they won't just let you in with any kind of sob story. So it would require use of manifestations or truths, or if you really
well, if you
wanted
tell
to.
me, couldn't I like say that I need her to come in, like that she's also a family member or my spouse?
Oh, I haven't. Wait, are you in the room?
I'm in the room with the guy. Yeah.
Well, you're
Right?
you're not in the room with the guy. Both of you guys
Oh.
are outside those two
Oh,
rooms.
okay.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Neither of you is in a room.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, my mistake.
No, that was my mistake. I apologize.
That's right.
Okay. So Wade, I hypothetically still need you to distract this dude, but then I am going to use shaping and pull like a credit card out of my wallet and turn it into a swipe card so I can buzz into the room because it's a visual I'm changing how this thing looks, which is beauty. And they're gonna put my cute face on it because that's cute. And then
what I would say is, so there's rules for this, right? It's basically, it's like if it's spot on, then it's fine. If it's tangential, like you're kind of BSing your way through it, essentially I just give you a penalty. And but you can still try it, because it's still a thing. All right, so but hold up, because I'm gonna do that last before, because I'm gonna go with Marlon and Mina, who are doing other things and getting information, because the information I say out loud will inform what happens when you guys get into the room, so you understand why stuff is happening. So
we will delay this distraction.
Yes.
Okay. Good.
Here's the thing is that I even have, if you want to get into the room, here's the roll for the distraction and here's what happens, blah, blah, blah. So, but I like to give all the info drop stuff first. All right. So we were going to do, Marlon was kind of eavesdropping on like the nurses and just kind of doing that stuff. So let's do stealth and perception for eavesdropping.
One success.
You said one success?
Yeah.
Okay. This does require 2. So do you want to ask the Pantheon if you can use some Pantheon dice? Do you want to spend free time? Do you want to spend fragments?
Well, I was gonna spend 1 fragment to be forgotten. If everyone's okay with that.
Oh, you can totally do that. Yeah. If you do that, you don't have to roll.
Okay. Yeah, that was my plan.
Oh, okay. Well then, yeah. Well then you just do that then. Yeah. I'm sorry. I forgot that he had that when you said, I want to just go somewhere and be forgotten, I was like, yeah, you can totally do that. It's a roll, but I forgot you had that ability. Because essentially Marlon can just be like, mortals can't see me. And just cause. So yeah, you can totally eavesdrop on everything if you want. So what I'm going to say, what you get out of this, and I'm just going to treat this as if you got it with a boost. So the man and the woman are Matt and Rebecca Fowler, a married couple from Arizona. This is just kind of hearing them talking about the couple. The couple seems to be in some kind of trouble with the law in Arizona, hence the police presence, as they are suspects in the explosion. Their conditions are stable, but they are still unconscious. And Matt has been murmuring under his breath about demons. Rebecca's been talking about spiders. This occurs regardless of how much sedatives that they are on, and they will, so yeah, they've tried waking them up a few times. It hasn't worked. So that's what you get from the nurses, because that's the information they know. However, Mina was going to go into the police records, so you can make that roll. That's going to be another stealth and tech.
So actually, quick question.
Sure.
Since I'm already in the system, Am I able to hack the tech so it opens up the doors for Tony and Wade? Is that something I can do later?
I'm gonna say you could do it later. Yes.
Okay. Maybe we'll do that then.
I mean, after you make a roll and we say that you actually are in the system.
Okay, cool.
Because you're gonna be like, oh, no successes. Oh, I guess I can't do that then.
So it's stealth and tech.
Stealth and tech.
So 6 dice, please.
Okay.
Yes.
You get 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 successes.
Nice. If you can get one more, then you'll get additional information.
Can I, is everyone cool with me using Pantheon die?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, cool. Let's do that then.
So then do I just roll 1?
Just roll one additional die. Yeah.
Success.
Hey.
It's a 10. It's a 10.
Oh, so that's actually 2 more successes. You only needed 1 though. All right, cool. So from the police system, let's see what happens here. You know that the 2 are wanted for arson relating to a bar in Arizona where 3 people died. The Arizona State Troopers report stated witnesses at the bar said the suspects and their victims seemed to be on friendly terms until an altercation occurred that night. Witness statements of tonight's events say the 2 swerved off the road without any apparent cause, exited the vehicle, started discharging their firearms randomly before turning their firearms on each other. As witnesses ran for cover, there was an isolated blackout followed by continued gunfire screams and other signs of battle. And then obviously, and these reports are, there are also reports of buildings and the surrounding area being set ablaze well before the explosion. So with the boost, which is why I said if you wanted the extra success, you learn all of that information, but you also learned, you find out that when Rebecca was first handcuffed to her hospital bed, all metallic objects in the room seemed to levitate for a split second before dropping. But that couldn't have been real, right? Couldn't have actually happened. But you got that on the police chatter, essentially. One of the police officers was just like, everything just started to levitate in here. What the fuck? So so that's what you guys got. Okay.
This is why you always have a hacker.
That's why you always have a hacker. And here's the funny thing. You haven't done it yet, but Mina is the goddess of light. And a lot of stuff, you know, the internet and technology and stuff is usually just like light passing through wires and whatnot. So you could kind of mess around with that if you want to. Just throwing that out there. Okay, so that's that. Nobody swiped the medical report. We went straight to the hospital.
I wanted to see if I could, did you say Dr. Jones?
Dr. Jones, yeah. Dr. Jones and the head nurse on duty are the only 2 allowed in the rooms.
So I was going to see if I could kind of enthrall Dr. Jones somehow. You know what I mean?
Does Wade have that power? I don't know.
I
know Tony can do that, but I don't know if Wade can do that.
Influence him somehow, like maybe.
Well, you could just. Well, I mean,
minion or beckon or
wealth. You also have wealth.
Oh yeah, well,
so that's a thing too. You really wanted to do that. The true power.
I would grease. I would totally grease the palms of Dr. Jones to get some information.
All right. Well, Dr. Jones isn't around right now, so when he shows up, you can though if you want.
Yeah.
He hasn't shown up quite yet. You've heard the name Dr. Jones from the police officer who said, I can't let anybody in.
Right. So
Dr.
I'm just going to wait for him and then try to create the distraction for my goddess friend. Yeah.
So that's what he tells to Haley, essentially. He says, the police officer's like, I can't let you in. If you wanted to distract the police officer, then Haley can get in, essentially. So that would be an influence and deception roll.
Influence and deception.
Yes.
Or maybe I can freeze his leg and make him fall down.
You can do that, but then so yes, you can do that. It's kind of like there's no magical backlash or anything like that. But it will definitely call attention.
more attention than we want. Okay, so let me just
Yeah,
do the.
yeah.
let me just
Marlon
do the
doesn't really
dis-
like that.
Yeah,
Um,
let's just do the
though-
deception thing.
I mean, I think I do have an ability to hide magic.
What did you say?
You
The
do.
deception and what?
You absolutely do. Influence and deception.
Okay. Okay.
If
yeah,
we think
that's-
it's important enough, it
oh my God,
would
that's
be
7.
another.
Yeah. Since Marlon is in the group, Marlon can spend a fragment, and anything that you guys do divinely, nobody will see. Like
No,
he can-
don't. I would say don't do that because I'll just try to deceive him.
Okay.
Yeah, it would be. I think it's mathematically better because I get like 7 dice. So
I was gonna say he's really good at lying.
yeah, there's 1.
It's kind of what he does.
2. And then 3. So 4 successes.
4 successes. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I apologize. My computer just decided to be a butt and is like freezing up, so it's not letting me go to that page of my PDF. All right, I'm gonna close that and I'm gonna reopen it because the PDF died on me. I know it didn't close properly. It's like, you don't need to tell me that. I know. Okay, so here we are. Here's the adventure. At least it's up and running again now. All right, so that definitely, I'm gonna say that definitely worked.
Okay.
So, like, yeah, you're definitely able to
Get her in there.
you're able to distract the person and you're able to get in there. So let's go to you, Haley. All right. So Haley, you are in the room with Matt Fowler, and he is handcuffed to his bed. So you can definitely see that. You can see the patient charts at the foot of the bed, where they keep those. So if you wanted to read that, you could. Obviously, that would require a medical roll to be able to decipher first off, the doctor's handwriting, but second off, also like the terminology and stuff.
Oh, my medicine roll is real poor.
Well, it would be medicine and knowledge.
Also very poor.
Oh, so
Really,
you could always give it a shot, but it might not be, but you do recognize you're definitely seeing that Matt's spark is very weak, though. So possibly that means that they're new gods. Yeah, so they're newer, like maybe fresh gods. And he's very distressed. Again, he's murmuring under his breath about demons.
But he's still unconscious.
Still unconscious. If you could try to wake him up and it wouldn't do anything.
Okay. Huh. Well, I'm at a loss. Like if I wanted to see who he really was, like if I were to do the goddess, sees who you truly are, would that tell me like the god of what he is?
Yes.
Okay. Well, how about
That's absolutely what it will do.
I'll spend a fragment and get a sense of what's happening here with God Matt.
Okay. When you do that, so you spend the fragment, essentially you see his skin kind of like you feel like this intense heat emanating from him, and you see his skin kind of flay off, revealing kind of like molten lava underneath, and his eyes are just deep black pits of cinder. And that tells you that he is the god of, if I recall, it's heat. I'm trying to look it up right now.
That's hot. Yeah.
He's like the god of either fire or heat, flame. I'm looking for it right now.
Mm-hmm.
He's got, I have stats for him. So yeah, so he is the god of, so I can just tell you. Yeah, fire. The god of fire.
Okay.
Pretty easy. He's an easy one.
And knowing this, like, what does that do for us? I'm gonna just text everybody real quick and be like, y'all, he's a god of fire.
Interesting.
I think this is the one that blew up of the two.
And yeah, and it's not gonna, I guess, quote unquote, do anything for you, but it will, essentially it gives you more information as to what's happening. Also, otherworldly sight is it's ongoing for the scene. So it's not just you pick a target and then that's that. It's now everything around you you're going to see.
Okay. Do I see anything else around? If I'm
I'm gonna say
into the waiting area out of his, how they have either it's a glass door or kind of peeking out to see what else is going on around.
Well, funny enough, when you peek out, you see Dr. Jones actually showing up, and he looks like he's going into the woman's room.
Oh.
Going into Rebecca's room.
Damn.
Which is the one that Tony is outside of. So
yeah, so during Wade's distraction, I also snuck in. Is that correct?
Well, during Wade's distraction, we can say you snuck in too if you want.
Yeah, that's what the timing I was assuming is happening.
Okay, let's say you did. Let's do that.
Okay.
All right, so you're in the room. He actually shows up in your room as opposed to Matt's room. So yeah, so you're in there and you're like looking at stuff. Did you want to look at the hospital records or no?
So I would want to try to wake her up again if I could.
Okay.
So, yeah, because I want to see what she has to say.
Yes. You were on, it's the same. You're not able to wake her up. She's murmuring about spiders again. When Dr. Jones shows up though, he's just like, wait, no one's supposed to be in here. And he kind of seems to be moving towards the phone to like call security.
I am gonna
charm him, Tony.
Yeah, okay, I'll do it again.
You can spend a fragment to charm him, or you can do influence plus deception if you wanted to like spin some sort of tale or something.
Yeah. I could do. Yeah, I'll do influence plus deception.
Okay.
I'll say like, oh, I'm sorry, doctor, this is my sister and I'm so worried about her. Like, is she gonna be okay?
Okay. Yeah.
7, 2 successes.
It says I need 3 in the adventure.
Can I borrow
Pantheon?
Yeah, you can.
Also, you can take as many as you want. It doesn't have to be just one at a time or anything.
Oh, I got a critical success.
Oh, awesome.
Now we're at 4.
You're at 4 and you needed 3. So yeah, if you basically, he doesn't call the security, but he does kind of calmly ask you to leave. Because he's like,
doctor, is she gonna be okay? Like, she wasn't talking to me. I'm so worried.
Yeah, and he's like, he says, well, I'm coming in right now to do an initial assessment. If you do want to wait outside, then afterwards I can come out and I can maybe explain some of it to you, and I guess we can go over stuff. Do you know possibly any of her other family? Are you the only one that's around?
I'm the only one that's around, but I'll go out into the waiting area and I'm just try and call her mom. Okay, I'm gonna be out there, and I just like run out and I try and I like pretend to call the mom, so hopefully the Dr. Jones will come and find me later.
Okay. Well, and it's kind of crazy. You get on the phone, the fake phone, and then immediately, as soon as moments after the door closes, you just hear this huge piercing scream coming from Rebecca's room, and it's so loud. At the pinnacle of the scream, all the lights in the entire hospital just blow up. They just go out. And you hear a loud pop, as if like glass is falling to the floor. The hospital is, quote unquote, in the adventure, plunged into utter darkness. I just want to say that for the record.
Nope, I'm out.
Okay.
So-
Okay, no more crying. Okay, I gotta
Yeah.
like do things now. Sorry. It's nice meeting you.
So that does mean that now I'm going to go ahead and activate Mina's thing, because it literally says plunged into utter darkness here. Emergency lights do slowly illuminate, but even they flicker as if they're struggling to stay lit. Yeah. And I'm gonna say that since you have otherworldly sight going right now, Haley, like you're essentially seeing. I'm gonna say you're able to like see through the doors and through the walls, and you can look into the room, and yeah, and basically you see Rebecca kind of floating above her bed, and with shards of stuff floating around her, and it's really bad. Like she looks like she's about to go for Dr. Jones. Dr. Jones comes running out of the room as well. Like, so the whole hospital's in pandemonium, people screaming, running around. None of the machinery is working, which means there's people's machines that are going down. You know, this is not a good situation for a hospital, obviously, because all the machines are fried.
So does that activate my Wade breaks down due to losing his tenuous control?
If you want it to.
Used ultimate control. Too much chaos can be too much at times, it says.
So if we want another Pantheon die, then we can take you out of the scene just like we just did Mina.
What is the second one? It says loner, but that's not it. What did you tell me?
It's not loner. That one it's something called loss of control or something like that. It's I don't remember it. The description's correct. I just named it the wrong thing. So
okay.
So the description is correct still.
Am I able to, I have a truth that says Mina fears nothing, being the goddess of light means she sheds light on all her fears. Am I able to use that so I can stay in the scene, or have I already like so hightailed it out of there? I'm nowhere in sight.
Well, it's kind of a contradiction of things, right? It's essentially activating a curse means that we've accepted that this is just a thing that's going to happen. It's kind of like her other one. It's like you fail at a task that's super duper important. It's not like because you don't care. So it's that sort of thing. It's not I choose to fail, but can I roll again to see if I make it? It's like no, you chose to fail. So basically, in this case, we're saying no. We're saying that it would be more fun for the story if, like, in this very moment, Mina's like, "Fuck," like. So, and again, for you, Steve, if you think that is also interesting for Wade to be like, there's too much control over he has no control over what's happening. That's okay if we want to do that with him as well. So it's up to you. I think it makes a lot of sense for Mina's. It could make sense for yours. I'm going to give you the option. I did not.
I don't know. It doesn't seem to really be. It doesn't seem to really. Now that I read it, I don't know if it's really affects it, and we don't really necessarily need the dice. So
yeah. Well, immediately Rebecca comes out, and the pieces of stuff that were kind of floating around her were essentially the metal railing from the hospital bed that have been ripped up into like metal shards, and she like flings them at the police officers that are there and just like shreds them like they're just toast. But she seems like she's chasing Dr. Jones. So Dr. Jones like is running and like trips in front of you guys essentially. So let me see.
Can I size up Rebecca?
Yeah, really.
Most definitely. And also Haley, because you have otherworldly sight, you know that she is the goddess of magnetism.
If I can, so the domain thing, am I able to use Aegis even if I'm not in my own domain?
You can use your powers even if you're not in your domain. Yeah, most definitely.
What I would like to do is I will kneel down next to Dr. Jones, who's currently on the floor, and anyone who is able to see, which is no one. All of the tattoos on my body are like writhing and moving as if they were animated, and they're all going to crawl off of my body onto Dr. Jones's. And so I'm going to use this as an Aegis effect for if there's an attack event against him, the tattoos will protect him.
Very cool. Yeah. All right. So essentially, and again, because everything you do has to be couched in what you're the god of. So what we can say is that since you're the god of travelers, because you're not the god of tattoos.
Yeah.
But if you're the god of travelers, you can say run and nothing will get in your way. Nothing will stop you. Something like that.
Okay. I like that.
You see what I'm saying? Like you can make his travel away from here have no issues. Right.
I'll say, Don't trip like a dumbass again and get out of here.
But I really do. I like the effect though of the tattoos. Like you can do that. You can be like, I'm letting you borrow my path. You know, you can even do that. Like you can still have the visuals of that. All right, cool. So he gets up and we'll just say you did it. You know, we don't have to make a roll because we only have 15 minutes left. So we'll just say that you did that because it's a little bit less consequential for the scene. So Rebecca flies out of the room. She's wide-eyed and panicked. She's clawing at her arms, drawing blood, basically all the good that Tony did in healing her. She's creating more, you know, she's hurting herself more than anything. And
Can
she's
I freeze
like,
her?
What's
Make her
that?
stop. Can I freeze her and make her stop all this crap that she's
You
doing?
can in a moment because I'm going to have
Okay,
us roll
yeah.
initiative.
Oh,
I'm more just
God.
describing the scene at the moment. But yes, you
Okay.
definitely can do that in just a second.
Okay.
But she's screaming like, get them off me, get them off
I
me.
see. Okay.
You know, that sort of thing. Yeah. So basically she was the goddess of magnetism. She did release an EMP, which is what happened here in the hospital upon waking up. And so we will make a let me see. Does anybody want to try and snap her out of this, or are we just going to go straight to combat?
Well,
I would size her up and then go straight to combat if it's up to me. But
I'm good with it. So everybody roll initiative, except for Mina, because Mina's like,
I'm not even in the scene, right? Even though
taking you out of the scene doesn't like literally remove you because you're there. It's just like you're so like, you know, like you won't be able to engage in this battle. After the battle, you'll be fine.
Okay, because I have that shining sword, so I really want to use it.
Yes.
Can I use Marlon reacts quickly when he wants to?
Yeah, you can totally use that. That's good. That's your first move, Truth. So yeah, so that means you're gonna go first. So Marlon. And then everybody roll one die. You're gonna add your initiative to that.
Okay, 13.
So 13.
11.
11. That was for Wade. 11.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
12.
12. Oh, you guys are all rolling really high. We lost BT. Oh no, BT's here. We lost. Who did we lose?
Robbie.
We lost Robbie. Okay.
Oh.
All right. So whenever he comes back, we'll have him roll, and then Mina. Oh, we have to roll for Mina. So what's Mina's?
Oh, I thought Mina was not in the scene.
Yeah,
I'm that's right. No, you're right. So it's just the 4. Okay, sorry, confused myself. Okay, well then let me roll for them because they get to go too. They get to.
Is Matt awake too?
It has an initiative.
Yeah.
No, he's not awake. He's actually still out.
Okay. And then Robbie's back.
Yes.
Yeah. I guess it was me. The one with the internet problem.
I knew it was going to be somebody. It happens every time.
I called it, and I didn't think it would be me, but it was.
Okay. I'm trying to get my die. I like lost my die bag. So like I'm trying to use this dice roller, but everything's. Oh no, I have one. All right, cool. So they're gonna go. So I actually rolled 14 for Rebecca, which is kind of crazy because she has a +4, but I rolled a 10. But because Marlon used his truth, Marlon's going first. But Robbie, do you want to roll for initiative real quick? It's you roll one die and add your initiative modifier to it.
Yes. My page also closed down. If you wouldn't mind pulling up my initiative modifier.
Sure.
I rolled a 7.
You rolled a 7. Let's see what your modifier was. Does anybody else can anybody else bring it up really fast? Because
yeah,
I apparently lost it too.
What was his character again?
Gabriel.
Gabriel's initiative is +4.
Okay. So you have an 11 then.
Yes.
Okay.
That's same as mine.
All right. So Wade, I'm sorry, Marlon gets to go first because that's what his power says that he gets to do.
So he's a really good fighter, but I'm wondering if I should size her up first.
Yeah, I mean you can. It doesn't necessarily add anything. Sizing people up is like for like knowing whether you should fight somebody.
Okay. Well,
But in this case, you
in
almost
this
don't
case,
have an
we're-
option.
Yeah, we're gonna fight her. So
Yeah.
so what do I roll?
Well, what are you going to do?
Fighting.
That's the question.
I'm gonna. I want to fight her, but with the intent to kind of try to sort of neutralize her and
Okay.
stop her from what she's doing.
Okay. So so how would you do that? Like as a boxer, are you saying like you're gonna like go for like a gut punch? Are you gonna go for a knockout, just like bam?
Yeah,
Or
let's go for a knockout.
okay. So let's make that let's make it fighting and might,
Okay.
since you're just going for a straight
So
knockout.
I have 6.
Let me see.
Oh
Do you have anything that's gonna help you with that? Let me see here.
I just got a 2 successes.
2 successes? That's not the worst.
Yeah, that's from 110. Everything else is
Oh gosh.
You could take
All right, well, let me
damage
see
that
what I
way.
get in a defense roll here. So the dice roller's crapping out here. Hold on.
Mhm.
Bring it back up. Okay, now it's working. All right, so let's see. So I rolled 6 successes for my defense.
Oh my god.
Because two of them were 10s. So yeah.
fighter. Oh,
So you
clearly not against magnets.
I'm gonna say like you go and you're like you go right for the and you almost feel like you're repulsed, like "Wah!" So you kind of get thrown off. Actually she
what the
gets to go
fuck?
she gets to go next actually. So she is going to fling some of her metal shards at, let's roll randomly to see who it's going to attack. Because she doesn't care. She just needs to get through you to get to Dr. Jones. Oh, it's going to be Gabriel. Wonderful.
I was gonna say, don't throw it at the hippie. Okay.
Throw to
Bring it.
Wade. Everybody hates Wade.
He doesn't know Wade enough to hate him yet.
Okay.
I got 4 successes on my attack. So if you see somebody flinging some metal shards at you, how are you defending against that?
I say, metal shards, as god of travel, I revoke your travel privileges. And they stop moving.
No visa.
No visa.
I take away their moving privileges.
Okay. So what you're saying is that you are going to use Aegis, either Aegis or puppetry, to divert their travel path away from you.
Let's say Aegis.
Okay. So you can
wait.
use Aegis, we'll say Aegis and intuition.
Yeah, Aegis and intuition.
Let's say that. I think that's fair.
That is 2 successes.
2 successes, which would mean that I got 2 more successes than you, which means I would do 2 damage plus any additional damage based on what I'm attacking you with and stuff like that. So I'm going to say that's definitely going to do at least 4 damage.
Okay.
Because of the speed of the things, and she's the master of magnetism. They're digging deep into your flesh. So you're going to take 4 damage. Now, the interesting thing with damage is you can say, I want to take all of this to my health, and it hurt my body. You can take half of it to health and half of it to psyche and say it hurt my body and it shook my nerves. Or we can convert these to conditions, like we can say it hurt you, and now you're bleeding. Stuff like that. So
here's exactly what happens. Gabriel's gonna take a bunch of glass shards to the chest, and he's laying like a dying person next to the wall. He still has like health left, but he's going, remember me and fight for me. I have an ability called Martyrdom, and anytime
Yes.
I take 3 or more damage from a single attack, add 1 die to the Pantheon pool.
yes. So we have
Yep.
we have another Pantheon die because he took 3 or more damage.
Not being a
That
big
happens
baby.
every time he takes 3 or more damage, by the way. So very cool. That's her turn. So that means that it's Tony.
Okay, so it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to like reason her out of this, right?
You could try.
I don't let.
I'm not
Okay.
going to say you can or cannot, but I am
Okay.
saying that you can try.
Well, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and spend a fragment and do Beauties Beyond Compare again.
Okay.
And other divine creatures get a difficulty 2 resistance.
Yeah, she does get to resist, unlike mortals. Yeah.
But so I'm gonna go up to her and I'm gonna be like, Rebecca, like, I don't know what's happening between you and this doctor, but we're gonna help you out.
Okay. Okay. So let me roll her defense here. Okay. Yeah. So I actually only rolled 1 success. And I gave her 5 dice. So like, there you go. See, that's the difference. I actually gave her 5 dice for her defense as well. And I got 6 successes on that defense roll. Same 5 dice, only 1 success for this one. Yeah, so that means that she falls under your sway because it's magical, you know, so I can't not do it. And yeah, she immediately kind of, it's almost like her body wants to calm down, but there's something in her that's making her not be able to calm down.
Yeah, so I can gain a +1 to influence when I'm trying to gather information from people. Like, can I go up to her and be like, what's happening to you? Like, what's going on? Because like she clearly, like, something's going on to her, right?
Yeah, yeah. She it's you're not gonna like the response. She literally shouts, "Spiders!" and right in your, like, full on in your face. And then she clutches her chest and drops dead.
I wasn't gonna like that. You're right.
Whoa.
Got another Pantheon dice from that one.
You do get a Pantheon dice from that. You are correct.
That's an option.
Good note there. Good note. I even have here, if you wanted to make a medicine check, failure is, yep, she's dead. But success means, yeah, you know that she died of an actual heart attack. So, yeah. Oh my gosh. Let me see. And then if you go back to Matt's room, you find him missing, having escaped through the window during the fight. But what's left of his handcuffs are now dripping with blood. Or I'm sorry, are dripped to the floor with melted slag. So he melted through his handcuffs to escape.
That makes
so
sense.
There's that. But outside of the window, you also see kind of like slightly burned footprints in the ground. So he's not hard to follow.
Yeah, can we track him?
So he's kind of burning his, he's leaving burn marks, singe marks on the ground, and kind of like if he stumbles into a garbage can and like the garbage can bursts into flames, so you can basically follow the trail to him if you wanted to.
I revoke his travel privileges.
So that would mean we go into the next scene. Is everybody okay if we go a little bit over, if we wanted to finish the adventure? I just want to make sure that's okay.
I have to duck out. I am so sorry, but Mina's freaked out of the dark, so he's not helping much anyway.
Yeah, well, I mean, in the next scene she was going to be okay, but now I feel bad. I feel bad, like the last scene you're able to participate in, I'm like, no, you get to
Thanks, Dan. Thanks.
No, I feel bad now. No. If you would have said, dude, I gotta go soon, I'd be like, okay, no, too dark does nothing to you. Well, thank you for coming and playing. I completely understand. Hopefully you had a fun time.
I did. This is amazing.
I'm on the chat on Discord or whatever if you have any follow-up questions or anything.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Sorry, team. Enjoy. Go get them.
Okay, so and we'll so the gods leave the hospital. You find small fires lit here and there, giving you a trail to follow. Matt's path of destruction, obviously, because he has the fire themed dominion, is simple to follow without a check. So it says that in the adventure here. So
I wasn't really kidding about the revoking the journey privileges. It's like the traveling privileges. It's the thing that I have domain over. Is that something that I can do?
That
like,
is
is one of the options for magic here says summon or banish the god's dominion.
I was wondering about that too.
Yeah.
So can I banish travel?
Let me see. You could. You have 0 beckon.
Oh wait, so I can't. Okay, that would make sense.
So you wouldn't be able to do that, but another god of travelers who had beckon would be able to do that.
Okay.
I was about to say you could use ruin. That's also one you could say if you travel far from here. Like you can. You can use a Gaius sort of thing. Like the further you travel, the more pain you will feel. You also don't have any ruin. Like that's not Gabriel. That's not what he does.
Yeah.
So he's the sweetheart guy. So he's not going to use his powers that way. But of course, you could always make a god of travelers who was a douchebag and would just do that. So, not saying you were, by the way, just a meaner person.
Yeah.
Okay, so my acrobat is messing up again. So I feel like I should just. What should I do about
that? Quick question.
Yes, please do. While my Adobe thing is
for beckon.
Yes.
For beckon, is that banishing that god's dominion? Like, would I be banishing Matt's dominion over?
No, you would be summoning or banishing what you are the god of.
Okay.
So you're the goddess of ravens. So if you did beckon, it would summon like a giant flock of ravens to the area.
Right, and then I could use ruin to like force them to fly through him.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
That is 100% what you could do with that. And that's kind of the fun thing, is that not every manifestation works the same with every dominion. Like a god of celebration could use beckon to like summon party favors, like instant decorations, probably couldn't use it to hurt anybody, but you could use it to summon that sort of thing. Okay, so let's see, where was I here? Scene 4 here. All right. Okay, so as you look for your next lead to follow, you hear screams nearby and you follow the sound. The gods enter Reginald Park and you see Matt sitting on a park bench talking to someone who isn't there, while a terrified little girl, no more than 7 years old, sits at his feet looking around wildly. When the girl spots the group, she moves to get up, but Matt grabs her by the shoulder and sits her back down without ever looking up. As the gods get closer, they can make out what Matt is saying. And what he's saying is, I did what I had to. The Pantheon was corrupted or possessed or something. They needed to be cleansed. The whole world needs to be cleansed. Even this girl needs to be cleansed. The little girl starts sobbing, and Matt strokes her head with his right hand. Shh, don't worry. It'll all be over soon. Then you'll be allowed into heaven of my making. So you can try to sneak up on him. You could do anything like that. But he instantly kind of knows that you're there even before you make any rolls. Yeah. Oh, wow. Says even if you start to try to talk to him, he just casually waves off anything you have to say. So then you notice that his left hand, the one previously handcuffed to the hospital bed, has been burned down to the bone, but he doesn't seem to even realize it. He says, more of the wayward flock I see. I was told to wait here for you, and like the angels said, here you are. Now you too can be cleansed. I will rid the world of all demons, starting with this little girl and you, of course.
No, but when he says that, before doing anything, as soon as he says that, I don't know, this might not be in character for Wade, but North Wind Ring, I'm gonna use the wind to push her away from him.
You can do that.
Yeah,
The North Wind Ring is
she'll take some
usually
damage, but
yeah, I was gonna say the North
It's-
that ring normally is to hurt things, but you can totally
Right.
do it to save the girl. You can hurt her a little bit, but save her life. I think that that's a good
Right.
plan.
that's
Yeah, do that.
Can I
Make
can
a
I
roll.
use Aegis to make her really, really lucky and land on something soft? So bless her
You
travels. so
completely can do that
she
as
does
well.
not
There we
take
go.
damage when she's
I love it.
Well,
And
and I
Aegis
was
and
hoping-
survival for you, and ruin and marksman for Wade.
Can I change the shape of Angel to go in and like fly over, swoop her up, and kind of pull her off as she's flying?
To like make like Angel bigger.
Yeah, to make Angel bigger so that Angel can support the weight of this kiddo.
Yeah. Yeah. Shaping and crafts, maybe. let's say shaping and crafts. Wow, this is teamwork here. I love it.
I got 5 successes on my yeah.
That's, I mean, here's the thing, the more successes you get, the more effective it is, but also
Oh,
the more
no.
you're hurting the girl.
I don't want to hurt her too bad. I mean, the
Oh,
point
well.
was to try and save her life. So
Yeah, no, hey, she will be alive. So
Okay.
it's okay.
If it
Two
helps, I
successes, you said?
rolled I rolled 2 successes to try and protect her fall.
Okay.
Good. There you
yeah.
go.
I think the combination of the three of you together were able to get the girl away. And in the moment, the girl is being flown away right now. So I like it.
I was like, no children.
I just now realized what his whole thing was. I can just curse people to like trip and bust their ass. Like that's my I just now put that together, but my bad, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, you are 100% fine. So yeah, he's the god of flames. He's gonna cleanse the world, and it's a fight. So roll
Another
initiative. Yeah, roll initiative. So remember too, though, he was murmuring about demons under his breath the whole time. So
8.
so now he's looking at you guys and he's saying, I'm gonna cleanse the world of you demons.
8.
So
Yeah.
for this one, do I just roll 1 dice and then I add to
Roll
it?
1 die. Yeah, exactly. Roll 1
Okay.
die and then add your
5.
initiative modifier.
Oh,
5. You have a 5
6.
total?
I have 6 total.
6 total. Okay.
PT, it's okay. I got 5 total.
5. Okay.
I got
And
9.
my initiative is +5. So
Wait, and you rolled a 0? There's no
and
way
I
you
rolled
can
a
roll a 0.
1, so I have 6.
Oh, so so yeah. Oh, that's why you have 6. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
For Gabriel,
10 for Gabriel.
10, and then for Wade,
8.
8. Wow, that's much different than the last fight, which was all like in the team, like everybody was going like 14, 13. Wow. Okay, hold on. I gotta bring up this guy's stats real quick. I really wish that
maybe
this was
maybe
messing up.
Marlin was second guessing, and that's why it's taking him so long.
He's like, oh, I don't know if I can. Well, the little girl was distracting. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think that's it. I think you guys are just all off your game. It's okay. It's okay.
But if Marlin was second guessing, we get another Pantheon die.
Oh, all right. What does that say though? Hold on. I got to bring that up now.
It says, "Is it sadly true that Marlin is slow to act even when circumstances call for spontaneity?"
So essentially, if you did, so the thing about curses is if you invoke a curse, that means something bad is going to happen because you did that. So essentially we can say like, you don't act and I get to make something bad happen because you didn't act. So
well, at
if
this
you want
point
to
in the
do that,
game,
you
maybe
can.
we shouldn't do that.
Okay, cool. So what are the rules here? So I have an initiative of, where's my initiative? I only have a +1 initiative, so you guys are probably going to be okay. Because remember, I had already said that they were new gods. So, I have a 6. All right. So he's going to go on a 6. That means Gabriel gets to go first. No,
Okay.
you still have like shards of metal in you, like embedded in your chest.
Yeah. Yeah. I am not sure what Gabriel can do combat wise. Okay, who is the next person that is going after me? Wasn't it Marlone?
Next person's Haley, and Haley has lots of options combat wise.
I am going to use an Aegis effect. Basically, what I'm gonna do is if they get attacked by something, then they are going to accidentally dodge it because they tripped on a rock.
Okay. Hey,
So,
that's good.
Yeah, Aegis and anything else?
Let's see, Aegis and let's see, Aegis and let's make that an I hate to keep saying this, intuition, but it sounds like it's an intuition sort of thing. You know what? No, make it an Aegis and influence thing.
Influence. Okay, same thing.
Yeah.
So that is 3 successes.
3 successes. Okay. So who are you giving that to? You gonna give it to Haley?
I am going to give it. Can I like withhold it until I see the attack happening?
Yes, I will say, well, yes. So essentially, these are going to be defensive dice. I'm going to say for each success you just got, you can give a +2 bonus to somebody.
Okay.
How about that? Okay.
Cool.
So, okay, cool. So then Haley, your turn.
Okay, so Haley's pissed because she does not like, I mean, as much as she hates everybody, she does not like gods who are mean to little children. So she's going to add that consequence of hatred blessing to her
Of course.
attack. Of course. And of course. And I feel like ruin feels appropriate at this moment.
Yeah.
Let's see, into ruin.
So what are you going to do with it?
Well, I'm going to ruin something. It's my plan.
Well, are you using ruin to like grow giant talons for hands to like claw his face off? Like describe to me what you're doing.
Okay, no, I think I would prefer to keep a little bit of distance between me and a fireboy
Okay.
here.
All right.
And might call on my Flacco ravens to like have a swarm attack on him.
Okay. All right. So then let's do that. So then let's do a ruin and let's do ruin and influence since you're telling the birds to do that.
That's 5. Then I get +1 damage to all attacks. So what does that mean?
Oh, so when damage is being applied, then you'll do
Correct.
an additional damage. Yeah.
Okay. So then I have 5. Let me get all my little dice up.
Because you hate everything.
Yeah, yeah. So 2, and you said influence. Okay, so 5.
Yeah.
Oh, she got 3. 3 successes.
That is not too bad at all. So let me see how many dice I have to defend. Not that many. So let's see what I end up with. I got 2 successes to defend, which would mean, hey, you hit. That's awesome. So you would have done 1 damage because you rolled 1 over me. You'll deal an additional damage for your hatred. And then, yeah, I think that's good. So that's like what, 2 or 3? So let's say it's 3 because I like that. I think that's a cool way to go. How much health do they have? Okay, he doesn't have a whole lot of health. So yeah, you did 3 damage. So yeah, so your birds, you'll notice though that you send like a flock of like at least 24 birds. And I'll say like the 3 points of damage you did are the 3 birds who weren't burnt up with the heat that's surrounding him.
Oh. Sorry, bird.
Sadly. So a lot of those birds are like gone, which was what would have happened if you ran in to try and punch him.
Right.
So yes, because he's emanating so much heat that it's really hard to kind of not be hurt by it at this point. All right, cool. So the next one is Wade.
Okay, so
Wade, yeah.
I want to do the destructive nature blessing. Wade has learned to hone the destructive nature of his dominion. His cold manifestations deal +1 damage if intended to harm.
Right.
So I'm gonna harm him.
So are you going to use your Ring of the North Wind again?
I was thinking about it, but then I also, this freeze with a look thing would give him a +1 penalty for the rest of the scene if it lands. So, and I can probably only do one, right?
Yep. One will do damage. The other one will do, well, yep, they'll both do damage.
Well,
but you have the possibility of doing more damage with the ring, but you'll have the possibility of giving him a penalty with the stare.
Right.
So,
gosh, I don't know. Okay, I'll just do the ring again because I guess is that ruin and marksman again?
That's going to be ruin and marksman.
Yeah, that gives me the most. So that's 5. I'll do that.
I mean, it's a good way to go. That's why he has it. So.
Yeah. 1. 3 successes.
3 successes. Okay, let's see what I get from this roll, this defense roll. I got 4 on my defense.
Now, can I do? Okay, so but it's too late to do anything else, right?
No. So you have 3 and I have 4. You have free time that you can spend for additional dice. You can do fragments, or you can grab from the Pantheon pool. You guys have 8 dice in the Pantheon pool right now.
Yeah.
He demands perfection in all things, even fate itself. On his roll, he can take 1 damage to re-roll a result.
Yeah.
Or I could just spend a fragment, which would give me 2, which will
give you 2. Well, 2 for this, right? It'll give you 2 additional ones.
Or take a bunch for the Pantheon pool. We
I was
use
gonna say
them before the
days
day
in
ends. You can take multiples. I think.
All right, yeah, I'll take 2.
I mean, you could take all 8 if you. I was just saying. If you guys were like, let's end this. 8 dice.
Oh, I got 1 critical success.
Nice. So is that an additional
and
2 successes?
And a failure. Then? Yeah, so 2 successes.
Okay.
So for 5 altogether. Does that do it?
So that's for 5.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled 4, so that's 1 damage, 2 damage, 3 damage. So that would be another 3. Essentially, he's got 10 just for, normally I wouldn't share the number, but
right.
You could do another 3 right now. You know what? I'm going to make it 4 because you're literally his antithesis and you're doing cold to his flame. So I'll say that's an additional damage there. So he will have taken 7 now. So the question is, do you want to leave the final 3 points to Marlon and Tony to take care of?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
I think I've done enough, right?
I agree. Wade does too much for this group.
Wade agrees too.
So that makes it Wade's turn then. I'm sorry, not Wade's, Marlon's turn.
Sorry, Marlon was distracted for a second thinking about how Wade believes that he has earned his success, but we all know that he's really just has a whole bunch of privilege.
This is true.
Anyway.
Wade is like he's the walking privilege character. Like even his power is like, here's this ancient Inuit wind spirit. Go ahead and take this, rich white dude. It's like, and it's given to him. He didn't earn it. It's like, yeah, okay, sounds good.
Yeah, I don't think Marlon likes Wade much.
No, nobody does.
The only person who did is not here anymore.
That's right.
But I'm thinking that Marlon has a lot of fortitude, and he can also fight, and that the fortitude might help him, resist the heat damage if he lands blows.
Okay.
Or even, I don't know if there's any point in like holding this guy down for somebody else to do something, but that was another thought. I don't know what Tony's got.
I take a swing. Go ahead, Olivia.
I will also note that he's going to go before Tony.
Yeah, go ahead and
because Tony rolled like dead last. So
I rolled very low.
So, just yeah, this is a brute force melee attack, basically, because that's what he can do. 4.
okay, so you're running up to punch him.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, actually, hold on. See, I should probably read this stuff closer. Technically, it says here, so before we do your attack, right? It says here, gods with the proper dominion can try to extinguish Matt's flames. So we can count that as kind of what Wade was doing. So, and if they succeed, which I'm going to say you did because you rolled really well, Matt realizes that he is also burning. So he wasn't just burning the stuff around him, he was also burning himself.
Oh.
And he screams in pain before going into shock, and he passes out.
Oh.
Well, that changes things.
Yes, I apologize. I should have read, is what I'm saying. So Matt needs medical attention and will only survive if he's rushed back to the hospital immediately. But that's just how it is sometimes.
My character can be helpful. Oh. Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's gonna die soon. If he doesn't get any help.
What sort of injuries does he have?
His entire body is burning from the inside out.
Wow.
Okay.
That's a tough one.
I kneel down with a single finger and
oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
I poke him and I say, may you live another day to travel in peace.
Go ahead and make your roll.
I do not have to on the first one.
You don't have to spend
yes,
a fragment on the first one, but you still need to make a roll each time. So
yes,
he has a thing called, basically he's got a healing hands power.
Yeah, medicine and intuition. I can do it first time without having to roll for it. So let me check medicine. Medicine is 1, intuition. I'm gonna grab a point from the special pool to roll 4 of them.
All right.
So that's 2 successes. Can I grab another one? Or am I not allowed to? Okay. And then that's another success. So 3 successes.
Okay. So you're able to heal him for 3, which would mean that he's okay for now. If Wade wants to, Wade would essentially have to like almost freeze him more in order to, but like not hurt him, freeze him, but just like cover him in ice to put him on ice, essentially, if you were wanting to save his life.
Yeah, to decrease the inflammation.
Right. Basically to halt the flame going, because right now it's going without him even thinking. Like it's still trying to burn him even though he's unconscious. You know what I mean?
And I can delay his death, but I can't bring him back.
Right. Yes and no.
Where can I ascertain?
I ran a game where like everybody was at a party and like the whole party, people were starting to get murdered, and the player of Marlin was just like, can I banish death from the area? And I said, yes, you can. So basically people were just getting decapitated, but they weren't dying.
Oh,
so
wow.
So yes, death won't happen. It doesn't mean the other things won't happen as well, though.
So he would still be burning. So essentially, I would be torturing him if I kept him
essentially
alive.
Yes. It would just be so that he would not die. So there's that.
So we might have to let him go.
It depends on if Wade cares enough to even save this dude. Like,
I do. I mean, whatever. I'm up. So. At this point, you've got me out of bed. So where do I roll for that though?
Let's see. To put him on ice, let's say it's going to be. What do you have? Do you have Beckon? Do you have Beckon?
Beckon, yeah. 2 Beckon.
Beckon and medicine.
back out because they're 3 altogether.
Because you are summoning like an ice block around
Well,
him to cool his body or something.
Oh wow! I only had 3 dice, but I got 4 successes because one of them was
That is how it works, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. You got it. You're there.
All right.
So he is on ice, and what you hear from behind you is essentially like a soft clap and a little bit of laughter. And when you turn around, you see the little girl kind of leaning against a tree, and she says, I haven't had this much fun in ages. And she tosses Angel at your feet, Haley. Angel looks like she's injured, but she is not dead.
Okay.
And she says, I told him that getting your kind of turn on each other would be so easy, but I had no idea it would be this entertaining. Let me see, what else does she say? Yeah, there's like a big like epilogue, like villain, like I'm telling you my whole plan thing. Like if you want me to read it all, I can.
I hope that wind hurt, you little wretch.
Yeah, well, she says I played with them for a month or so before they turned on their pantheon and each other. I will admit that they caught me off guard with that little explosion in the city. That was a good one. No gas lines there, you saw. She says, since I broke all my old toys, I'm gonna need some new ones. Any volunteers? And she kind of looks at you guys, and you see like her face gets all super creepy. And then this is where everybody would have to roll against fear. So that's empathy and discipline. If you can make that roll, please. If you spend a fragment, then you can just resist without needing to make a roll.
Okay, I'm gonna spend a fragment.
Okay.
I'll try it.
Got 6 successes.
6.
Whoa.
That's kind of crazy.
2 successes.
Okay.
1 success.
I'll spend a fragment.
Okay. So Gabriel got 1 success, and who got 2?
Wade.
And then Wade got 2. And then Haley spent 1. Tony spent 1. And what about Marlon?
No,
I'll spend 1.
Successes.
Okay.
Tony just got 6 successes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. Tony got 6 successes. So essentially, those who lost the roll, you start to see the other people in your pantheon, except for the other people who also failed, as your worst nightmare. So what's Gabriel's worst nightmare, the thing that he would want to eradicate?
Gabriel had an office job for a while, just like a really straightforward type job where no creative work whatsoever, and he had just the meanest boss. He would like keep like making suggestions on how to improve things. So that's what he's seeing right now.
Yeah.
Awesome. Exactly.
TPS
reports.
Need those TPS reports.
What about Wade?
What I guess what he would fear the most is losing control over everything and just like being
Artist.
Yeah, like not having control and having to do creative stuff and do it on his own.
So you now see Haley, Marlon, and Tony as the things that is, if you eliminate them, then you will be able to get that control back. So, and essentially this was kind of what was happening to the other 2 people in the hospital. So they were seeing spiders, they were seeing demons, they were being riled up with their worst nightmares, their worst fears, and it was making them turn on each other and everyone around them. And now we're all going to roll initiative, and now it's Tony, Haley, and Marlon versus Gabriel and Wade.
Okay,
Oh,
so
Wow.
it is 11:30,
Yes, so we can stop there, but it would be a fight there. You're right. We probably should stop. If we were playing this for real, it would be a fight now.
I cannot fight my friends like this.
I know.
I don't think Gabriel has many ways to hurt you guys, so I really think you would be fine.
Yeah, that fight probably wouldn't go in Gabriel's favor. Yes, that's kind of
Not
true. Technically,
Yeah,
your side
Marlon
would have
could
won
just,
because you have
like,
both
do
Marlon
this.
and Haley, which are the two fighters.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so essentially, this little girl, her name is Neilra. She is, and if let's say Haley activated her otherworldly sight again, this little girl's a straight up dragon, which are like 10 times more powerful than gods in this setting. But there's like way fewer of them. But she is actually a dragon of fear. And essentially what she does is she sows fear in gods and then sucks their souls. So that's why she's got toys and she plays with them. And you look at her and she's not in like, she's not using an illusion. She, because dragons can kind of take any form that they want to. I have stats here for her, but she's too powerful for a beginner group to really fight. So yeah, so basically that would have been the end of because you're right, it's 11:30.
You were going to kill us all off.
Say that again.
Are you planning on killing all of us off? Is that what?
No.
Making us kill each other off.
No, you're supposed to survive. I actually made it easier because technically that last fear roll, it's let me see, nobody gets to resist unless you spend a fragment. So I changed it up and I said everybody gets to roll and you can spend a fragment to not roll, but really it's everybody rolls. I'm sorry, nobody rolls. Everybody's just affected unless you spend a fragment, and then it's crazy. So anyway, you can't defeat her. Like even if you had fought her, she would have gone away later on. She would have run away and become a reoccurring bad guy. So with experience, though, did you help people in the explosion zone? Yes, that would be an experience point. Did you gather 5 unique pieces of info on those gods? Yes, you would have gotten that one. Did you defeat Matt? Yes, actually you did. Did you defeat Neilra? No, you did not. And did you succeed in at least one fear check? Yes, actually Tony did it earlier in the adventure. She was like, nah, I'm not scared of that at all. And then you would have gotten experience from that. So yes, I apologize. I know I kept you guys later, but hopefully you guys enjoyed that. So
That's fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any follow-up questions? And if anybody needs to go, you can go, but does anybody have any follow-up questions about it before we say goodbye or?
Okay. I promise I'm not salty. I'm just more curious about that anything. So what was your intended purpose when making Gabriel? Yeah, what aspect was he going to serve?
Head out.
Bye, Sam. Thanks for coming and playing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Yep. Bye, guys.
Bye. That's fine. You can end the stream.